Organizer Advisor, helping you enhance your happiness and transform your life. Hello, this is the Organizer Advisor. Welcome. I am here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. And I today am going to be talking about fiscal fasting. Now, what is fiscal fasting? Fiscal fasting is setting a specific amount of time. I do it at the end of each month, the last week, and I focus on saving money. And the fasting part is I avoid any unnecessary spending. And today I want to talk about the 7 benefits of fiscal fasting. So, fiscal fasting is kind of a paradigm shift where you go from your normal routine spending habits to becoming consciously aware of what you're spending, when you're spending, why you're spending, and how you're spending. And what this does, it makes you very cognizant of the outflow of money, because even a little bit of money every day adds up, whether it's spending, so your expenses add up, or your savings add up. So what are the 7 benefits? I'm going to name them each, and then I want to talk about each one because they all kind of dovetail together, but the outcome is amazing. And all of this is for the intended purpose of enhancing your financial well-being, which then boosts our emotional well-being, our physical well-being, and our psychological well-being. And really, it's only a week. Some people do a long extended fiscal fast. I only do about a week's worth because as I go and get more and more used to it, I kind of become a lot more aware of my spending during the rest of the month. So, benefits. Number 1, reduces clutter. I'm going to talk about it in a bit, but fiscal fasting can help you reduce your clutter. Also, it capitalizes on what we have. So we are then focusing on using the things that we have, which helps us capitalize on that as a resource. We're using the things that we already have to enhance our life, which is a fundamental premise in my process. Also, fiscal fasting saves fuel. Saves time too, but fuel is an expenditure, so it helps save fuel. That's really important right now. Saves time, and it saves money. And who doesn't need money saving strategies right now? It also shifts your paradigm from lack to abundance because we focus on things that we already have and utilizing those to enhance our happiness instead of things that we feel like we need to go buy. And then again, it creates a feeling of financial well-being. It helps to build our savings. It helps us to really become cognizant of where we're spending money, how we're spending money, and what we're spending money on. And this awareness helps us to make more conscious decisions about how best to use our financial resources to enhance our happiness and support our financial well-being. So here are some things that I want to talk about to help you understand how fiscal fasting can really help you improve your life. First of all, you need to set a time. I take the last week of the month. So this is Monday, the 27th of March. So I'll do my fiscal fasting throughout this entire week. And so my conscious choices during fiscal fast are eat at home, no grab and go meals, don't spend money unless I have to, use what I have, and make sure that I'm making entertainment choices that are free or low cost and not, spending money on like external entertainment, such as, movies or dining out or, going out for drinks with friends. I spend this week more at home, kind of focusing on getting things back in order so that we have a good reset for the beginning of the month. But also, it just slows down my life a little bit. And then I can really start to focus on things I want to accomplish as well as my financial well-being. Okay, so how does fiscal fasting reduce clutter? Well, when we use the items that we have, then we are able to recycle those containers and reduce all of that product overwhelm. So what am I talking about? Items such as toiletries, your spices, your cleaning products, your condiments, things that we have that we've opened that maybe we haven't used all of it. And I call them the almost empties, or they can be half empties. But when we get to about the last 20% of a product, we know that we need to go purchase more. And then what happens is we purchase a new item, and then we are like, hey, I have a new item. I can't wait to try it. And then we open it, and then we still have that 20% left in that container, whether it be a condiment or a toiletry, hair shampoo, conditioner, body mist, perfume. And so what happens is we have this whole conglomeration of product that is almost empty, but we haven't used it all yet. And so psychologically, we don't want to throw it away because that's waste. So what do? We just push it aside and put our new product there. So then we have this clutter of almost empty product containers. And so what we want to do is we want to go ahead and use those almost empties during our fiscal fast. We want to focus on using them so that we can recycle those containers and minimize our clutter in our bathroom, in our refrigerator, in our kitchen cabinetry, and our laundry room. So go ahead and kind of just do that quick assessment as you go through, your cabinet, your cleaning products, your toileting products, and your condiments. And pull all of those almost empties out and focus on using those this week. This is going to maximize our money, our investment in these products, because we're not wasting anything, but we're also reducing all of that product overwhelm. So this reduces clutter. Now, how does fiscal fasting save money? That's the big intention of fiscal fasting. It saves us money because we're spending more time at home and we're eating our dinners in, so we're not going out, we're not getting grab and go food, we're saving fuel because we're staying home more, we're not buying the coffee shop coffee, we're making coffee at home just for a week, and we're also not going out for entertainment such as movies and popcorn, and all of that adds up. Dinner and drinks, shopping with friends, luncheons, those kind of activities we do during the rest of the month. But during fiscal fast, we kind of slow our lives down, clear our schedule a little bit, and then really focus on staying home and utilizing what we have already purchased at home for those, or in place of those normal activities. So we're going to save money by not spending fuel, not spending money on eating out, not spending money on our coffee shop coffees, not spending money on shopping with friends as entertainment, not spending money on movies and game tickets and event tickets and all of that, unless it's a special event. All of those are going to save us a lot of money. It also saves us time, because when we are at home a little more, we have more time with our family, we're slowing our lives down, we're not on the run all the time, we have an opportunity to be a little more quiet in our lives, and therefore we are a little more efficient. We're not running back and forth to the store, we're not running back and forth to restaurants or to events or to entertainment venues. We are just cozying up at home, taking care of, our home existence and enjoying that opportunity to just have a week of kind of a break from everything. Okay, another benefit of the fiscal fasting is saving that capitalizing on these resources. Sorry, when we are able to utilize what we have, that we've invested money in, we are actually enjoying it more because we're using it. Gives us a good feeling to use something that we have, especially if we've spent some money on it. We want to know that we are getting our money's worth. So let's take, for example, board games. Not everybody has a plethora of board games, but instead of maybe going to an arcade like Dave and Buster's, or your local arcade to play video games with your kids, let's say that you stay home and have a board game night where you maybe cook a family pizza, or you make a special dessert, and you gather the family around the dining room table or the family room, and you play board games. When we're young, it's really a lot of fun, but it's even more fun when you play games with your kids. Kids love to play board games with adults. Now, this could be a Monopoly, or it could be Yahtzee, or any board game that you have, or it can also include puzzles. So you may want to start a family puzzle night where everybody just sits around and talks, and maybe shares some lemonade and some pretzels, or something that your family enjoys to eat together, where you can just sit and talk and work on a puzzle together. This creates really family bonding time, and it's really uplifting to kids to be able to have that time with the parents without that direct attention on them. So it's something you can do together. It can be not just with your children, it could be with your parents or friends, family, loved ones, whomever you spend a lot of time with. Have a family game night or a friend game night where you have a bunch of friends come over, you have a charcuterie board, maybe some beverages, but you have time together. And now that our house is every nook and cranny clean, who doesn't feel like entertaining? Okay, another thing that fiscal fasting does is it helps us to figure out our energy vampires. This is another component of saving money. Our energy vampires, or see all these little lights, these little alternative lights, or ambience lights, those will all go out this week because I save all of those energy resources and I turn them off for a week. And so all of the little up lights and ambient lights I turn off this week. Now, I leave them on during the month because I live in a country where it gets very, very dark, and so I like to come into my house that has at least some light in it. And so I have little energy efficient bulbs in all of my lights, but they do help to light the house as I walk in. I don't want to leave on larger bulbs. So I just leave on the little light bulbs. They keep my house comfortable, and they're well lit, so when I walk in I don't trip over one of the Frenchies. Okay, let's talk about overall the financial savings. Now, the fiscal fasting has a component of calculating your savings. Like, for example, if I groom my Frenchies at home, I give them a bath at home instead of taking them to a groomer, I'm saving money. If I eat at home instead of eating out, I'm saving money. If I'm using the ingredients that I have on hand to plan a menu so that I'm not having a big grocery shopping bill that week, that's saving money. If I'm using toiletries that I already have, that's saving money. If I'm using exercise equipment that I have instead of going to the gym, I'm saving money. If I stay home and just do some organizing or cleaning or working on projects instead of going out shopping, I'm saving money. I'm saving money by not using fuel. And, of course, gas prices are astronomical right now. But I'm also saving money for not spending money on things that I would normally spend money on a daily basis. The coffees at the coffee shop, just the shopping, just running to the store to get one thing and you walk out with 10. You really start to curtail some of that excessive spending, and it really helps to illuminate where some of those excessive drains on your finances are coming from. Another thing that I like to do is at the end of the fiscal fast, I go back and I look at all the things that I do. I actually keep a little notebook and I write down everything that I did that would have saved money that I could have outsourced, but I stayed home and did it myself. And then I calculate all of those savings. And then I go to my grab and go binder where I have all my receipts for the month. And then I look at all the coupon savings, all the store loyalty card savings, all the, on sale savings that I have, because I have all my receipts. And so then I know how much money I've saved in my grocery shopping for the month or any kind of store sales that I've shopped that month. And then what I like to do is I like to calculate all of that, and I write myself a check and I deposit it in a special savings account that I call the savings account. This money is used for any kind of activity or special purchase. I actually, in all honesty, during my fiscal fasting, when I started fiscal fasting, it was about 2008 that I started the fiscal fasting strategies. I actually was able to save enough money to purchase this cottage in cash. So I have a mortgage-free lifestyle now because of fiscal fasting, which to me is amazing. Okay, another thing that you can do is collect all your spare change. The stuff that you find in your car, in the bottom of your purse, in your couch, on the floor, on the dresser by the bed, and in the laundry room. I gather all that together. Now, I don't take it down every month. I take it down at the end of every year, but you could take it every month and cash it in for a deposit into your savings account. And that way you keep kind of adding to it every month, and then by the end of the year you're going to see your finances expand in your savings account, because you're really starting to shift the paradigm from spending to saving, and you're actually going to enjoy saving money instead of just going out and frivolously spending. That feels good, because every conscious decision you make to enhance your financial well-being is an uplifting feeling for you. And so we're making this shift from shopping for entertainment, going out for entertainment, trying to entertain ourselves by spending money, to entertaining ourselves and using what we already have and converting those monies saved into financial abundance and financial well-being. So that is a win-win for everyone, because when you have financial stability and abundance, you feel energetic, you feel stable, you feel as though you have some comfort zone where your money is concerned, and that's a really pleasant and healthy feeling. So let's just review. What are some of the benefits of fiscal fasting? Fiscal fasting saves you money. First and foremost, it enhances your financial well-being. It reduces the amount of clutter in your home by reducing product overwhelm. It helps us capitalize on the resources that we have already invested in to enhance our happiness by utilizing them. We save fuel. We save actual time and frustration, because we're not out in traffic all the time and we're not trying to make it to all of these different events. We actually have a more peaceful, calm week because we're able just to slow our lives down and plan on staying home for just a week. It gives us more time with our families. We have more family bonding time. It gives us a lighter schedule, and it makes us be cognizantly aware of how we manage our financial resources. And that's empowering, and that makes us feel good. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. So why don't you give fiscal fasting a try? Just assign a week. It's only 7 days, and make a plan to have your coffee at home, pack your lunches, pack your snacks, exercise at home instead of paying for the yoga class. Do yoga online with Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. It's amazing. Have family game night, have family movie night using some of those DVDs, CDs. Spend time with your pets, maybe groom your pets at home. Just focus on how you can utilize everything in your environment to enhance your happiness without spending money. This is the Organizer Advisor, here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. Please drop any questions that you have below. I'm happy to answer questions about my fiscal fasting practices, but there are also tons of resources online for those who have fiscal fasting strategies incorporated into their monthly schedules. I will see you next time. Bye.